In 1987, out of the blue, I got a call from a childhood friend, and she said, "Will you go with me to New York City to ring in the new year on Times Square?" And I said, "Well, what do you think? I'm an idiot?" "Yeah, hell yeah, I'll go." It was free. So we jumped on a plane and we did a 24-hour in and out Times Square. We partied like it was 1999. And even though there was a crack epidemic going on at the time, we made it out safe. So when I got the call in January 2002 to go back to New York for a 3-week commitment, and I had 2 years of training under my belt, I thought, I've been there, I can do this, I'm prepared. And I quickly learned that I was not. When my plane circled into LaGuardia, I caught a glimpse out the window of the plane, and what used to be a burning pile at ground zero is now just a smoldering pit. And in this space, the 1 story now was occupied by 12 stories, and the story below that by 12. And so when I got to ground zero, I remember a lot of things that struck me, the memorials, some faces, but it wasn't the smells or the sights or even the stories. What caught me was a taste, and it was on the tip of my tongue, and it was gritty, and it was bitter, and it didn't sit well there. And I was familiar with it. It started to make my blood boil. It was concrete dust, and it was a little extra bitter on my palate. So when I got to the headquarters a few days later, that taste was still there, that bitter taste. And when they asked for volunteers to go to the Fresh Kills landfill to pick up a refrigerated semi-truck trailer, nobody wanted to go. So another fella from Cleveland, he was a Cleveland police officer on disability. He and I agreed to go fetch the trailer on Staten Island. It was the only day I worked with Charlie. And when we got there, it was an island, and there were barges parked right there at the entrance to the landfill. And I remember watching the cranes with the big magnets pulling the structural steel out of the barges. And they were setting it aside, and they had a grid system laid out for all of that. The rest was going on conveyors, and those conveyors were literally going up a mountain of trash. And so we followed it up the mountain of trash. And when we got to the top, to the peak, there was like a plateau. And I remember as we got there, kind of taking it all in, the first thing I noticed was about 8 acres of rescue vehicles, some stacked 8 and 12 vehicles high. There was a green tent in the middle that I kind of picture as like a MASH tent, if you ever saw the TV show, a mobile hospital type thing. And that's where the DEA agents, the CIA, the FBI, everybody's being fed there. There were numerous other tents where the sieves were powered, the conveyors were passing through and dropping the material onto sieves to be sorted. When I went to get out of the truck, I knew I was going to have to steady myself. So I looked to the earth before I planted my feet, and I saw bubbles coming out of the ground while I was still in the air. And before gravity made me reach the earth, I realized it was decomposing material in the landfill, outgassing, and the smell hit my nose before my feet hit the ground. And in that unholy place is where we were searching for our fallen. So, when I got back to my hotel room that night, it was odd that I noticed, I was on the 42nd floor, and it was odd that I noticed a glass of water rocking back and forth. Being a structural engineer, I knew that glass of water had to rock, because if the building doesn't wave, it just breaks. And I thought, how nice, I'm going to get rocked to sleep. But sleep didn't come. And so I got another assignment, and I was just trying to get through my 3 weeks and I was feeling really low. And the people at headquarters, some of them have been there since the beginning. Everyone was just running on fumes. And I popped out of a subway on Liberty Street, and a woman blocked my path. And I don't remember anything about her. I remember I was in a hurry to get to a service center on Liberty Street. And this woman was there, and I made eye contact with her, and I couldn't pass past her. And it wasn't unfriendly. And she just looked me in the eye, and she said, "Are you here to help?" And I said, "Well, yes, ma'am, I'm here to help." And she says, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Ohio." And she said, "I see." She said, "What do you do for a living?" And I said, "I'm a structural engineer." She said, "I see." And she said, "Are you married?" And then I thought I knew where the conversation was going, so I said, "Yes, I'm very happily married. I have 2 children. One of them's getting ready to walk, and I'm probably going to miss it." And she said, "Do you love your wife?" And I said, "Ma'am, the service center is right over here. If that's what you need, I'm glad to direct you." And she said, "No, I want you to answer my question. Do you love your wife?" I said, "Ma'am, of course I do. And I love my children too, and I can't wait to get home to see them." She said, "So yes, exactly. You love your wife, you love your job, you love your kids, you're missing your son walking. And you've come here on a whim to help people that will never lift a finger to do anything for you. These people will never do anything kind for you." And I said, "Well, ma'am, I had 2 years of training and I'm here. And I believe all people want to help. I just don't think they know how. I mean, we're Americans, that's what we do, right? Isn't that when we're at our strongest, is when we've taken a wound? Look at all the stuffed animals and the toys that are being shipped into New York. Everybody's trying to do something. And they're being put into warehouses because they can't be used. People want to help, they don't know what to do. I have these skills and I'm just trying to do the best I can. And sometimes that's all we've got. And that's all we can expect, is just for people to do the best they can, because that's all they've got. And I don't think she ever broke her gaze, and she just said, "I didn't think there were people like you left in this world." And she turned and walked away. Now, I'm a pretty witty guy, I think. I like to think so. But she left this big corn-fed Ohio guy speechless on the streets of New York. I was just standing there as she walked off thinking to myself, what in the world just happened? And then I kind of realized, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it through this 3 weeks. What I'm doing is working. I don't know who she was, but she reminded me of something very important that I've been struggling with my whole life. I can't change human nature. Only God can do that. But I have witnessed when people come together in common purpose and they work together, we can change the human condition. I've seen it. So particularly now, I'd just like everyone to remember that we're in a lifeboat, and when we row together, we sure do a lot better. Thanks for listening.